actually find the character, like the random character dialogue, to be just distracting and annoying in general.
Hey, are you like a famous person?
And that's probably because I came from the old RPG where like there were no voices, it was just text. And so you had to walk up to somebody and actually engage with them.
Yeah.
And I realized that like in a realistic setting, if you're walking through some public place, there are going to be people talking, right? I get it.
Yeah.
But for some reason, especially in these Final Fantasy games, the more recent ones like 16 and 7, Remake and Rebirth, it's kind of annoying. Like you're walking by, and then the other thing that maybe it's just me is I feel like the direction from which the voices are coming
like changes
sometimes doesn't align with my movement. Because I feel like I'm walking by and then I hear them like behind me, and then all of a sudden it's like they're in front of me, but I didn't change direction.
Do you play in surround sound?
Not really, but I have earbuds in, so.
Okay, so you can tell distinctively like which
right,
side.
because I have like these Shure earbuds.
Yeah.
It was just kind of awkward to me, but in general, just that like whole like random people talking, it's distracting to me.
I'm mixed on the NPCs talking. So I actually really like the idea that you just have to go near somebody to hear what they have to say instead of having to like select them. So I kind of like the atmosphere of being able to hear them as you just walk by. At the same time though, I will say that the acting in the NPCs is not good. It's fine.
I'm sorry, he's gone.
Remember, I'm a total critic of performances because that's the world I come from. So that's not ideal, but I didn't mind them talking as I walk by, but I can see how it would be distracting, especially if you're focused on a certain emotion or a certain mission. But I will say one thing I loved about the NPCs in Rebirth's demo, and this is a carryover from Remake, is just the huge number of NPCs that are everywhere.
There's a ton of them, yeah.
Yeah, so if you go back and you play Final Fantasy VII, the original, if you go into any location, really, even quote busy locations, you'd only see maybe 1 or 2 people here or there walking around, and it doesn't feel like those areas are very full in the original game because there's no NPCs. And there's obviously technological challenges for putting NPCs in with where we were in gaming technology back then, so it makes sense that there aren't a lot. But the consequence is that they feel very empty. Whereas conversely, in Remake, the plate falling on Sector 7 feels like this huge amount of destruction because we had gotten used to seeing NPCs all over the place in that area, right? So we could visualize just how many of these lives were affected. And so it was so much more effective, right? And the same thing happens in this Rebirth demo. So we see NPCs all over the place, even if the kids are being voiced by adult actors. I think it's better than not having any kids at all. So that when Nibelheim burns, we know that means that people are losing their homes, people are losing their lives because we saw those people, right? We can feel the magnitude so much more of what's happening. So in Remake and Rebirth, it's this big emotional advantage that these towns feel like bustling towns instead of like these ghost town vibes that you got in the original 7.
No, absolutely.
Something's been off ever since he came back from the reactor.
Too much exposure to Mako?